If you've been thinking about buying or selling a home lately, you've probably heard it's a buyer's market. No, it's a seller's market. The market is crashing. Or my neighbor's got 3 offers. So which one of these is true? Today, we're putting a microscope to the 3 counties that make up the area that I service the most. We're going to be looking at West Hants, Kings County, and Annapolis County to really understand where things are at and what type of market we're sitting in. And by the end of this video, you're going to know which is going to favor buyers, which is going to favor sellers, and which is sitting in more of a balanced market. Now, if you're new here, my name is Bruce McGaw, and I'm a realtor in the Annapolis Valley with Exit Realty Town and Country. And I'm a little bit of an investigator because I like to dig into the data every couple weeks to see what's going on in our local real estate market. No national headlines, no clickbait, just solid facts based on data and what I'm seeing in my day-to-day. So if you're new here, I'd love it if you hit that like and subscribe button. It just helps this to go to people like yourselves who may be interested in learning what's going on in the Annapolis Valley real estate market. And if you've been thinking about buying, selling, or investing in real estate here, you can always shoot me a text, give me a DM, or you can book a meeting with me in the Calendly link in my description below. All right, let's find out what kind of market we're in. So how do we define what type of market we're in? Well, typically it's based on month's supply of inventory. And what month's supply of inventory means is, say for example, today, no more houses got listed at all. Based on the current amount of demand that there is, how long would it take for that supply of homes to be depleted? In a seller's market, you're looking at upwards of 4 months that it would take for that supply to be depleted. In a balanced market, it's anywhere from 4 to 6 months, and then a buyer's market would be considered 6 months plus. Now, every home is different, every neighborhood is different, every market is different. And here in the Annapolis Valley, even within each county, we have micro markets and different pockets of how things are moving. So it's really important that you work with people that understand what's going on in each of those segments. And interestingly enough, the 3 counties that I'm talking about today all lie within one of those segments, but none of them cross over. Okay, let's start with Kings County. Kings County in the month of June was sitting at 3.8 months supply of inventory. So that tells me that it is still favoring sellers overall, but we are leaning more towards being in that more of a balanced market. That said, this is not the seller's market that we saw 3 or 4 years ago. Back then, almost everything sold. Just put it up and it was gone. Competing offers happening all over the place. Today, the right homes are selling. Now, I don't mean right like the proper home. I mean homes that are marketed well, in a proper condition for the price point that they're at, and in favorable areas. What are some of those favorable areas? Well, looking through the sales, we see that communities like Colebrook, Centerville, Kentville, Wolfville, and New Minas are still areas where homes are moving quite quickly. We are still seeing homes go under contract within a few days, and some homes have offer dates on them, and some are going competing. And in some cases, sellers are seeing those homes sell for over asking price. But those homes are priced properly, they listen to the market, and they show well. In this market, we have to use quantitative and qualitative data to understand where a home should be priced. But the buyers haven't disappeared. They've simply just become more selective. So West Hants County would encompass Hantsport all the way up to about Mount Uniacke. West Hants has probably experienced the biggest shift out of these markets over the last year. Inventory has climbed to 5.3 months of supply, putting it firmly in a balanced market, which means buyers have some breathing room. But here's what surprised me. When you dig into the sales, communities like Falmouth, Hantsport, and 3 Mile Plains are still having homes that are selling in just a handful of days, some even above ask. So while buyers may have more choice, they still can't afford to hesitate when the right and perfect property comes along. This market rewards preparation, not procrastination. Finally, let's take a look at Annapolis County. Annapolis County would be just outside of Kingston, all the way down to Digby. Currently, Annapolis County is sitting at 8.8 months of inventory, which means it's a buyer's market. Buyers have more inventory, there's more negotiating power, and generally a lot more time to make decisions. We see communities like Bridgetown, Annapolis Royal still do have some homes that are moving quite quickly, but those are particularly move-in ready homes that are priced well, and generally we're seeing those homes that are within a good commuting distance to CFB Greenwood. The homes that are selling are still selling quite quickly, and the homes that aren't selling are usually telling us something about the pricing. So what's the common thread? After looking through all 3 counties, one thing stood out to me. Market categories change, but the buyer behavior remains relatively the same. Whether it's Kings, West Hants, or Annapolis County, buyers are all doing the same thing. They're paying for value and not potential. They're rewarding homes that are well priced well presented, and well marketed, and everything else is having a much tougher conversation. So where do we stand today? Well, Kings County, still technically in a seller's market, but it feels more balanced to me as this is where I do most of my sales. Hants County, overall, outside of some pockets, is a relatively balanced market today. And Annapolis County is no doubt a buyer's market. 3 counties, 3 different market conditions, but one consistent trend. Homes that are priced right are still finding buyers, and the ones that aren't are spending more time waiting than ever before. So what does this mean if you are planning to move? For buyers, don't assume that every seller is desperate. Just because you're in a buyer's market, the home is listed and it hasn't sold yet. The best homes are still attracting strong interest. So know your budget, have your financing in place, and be ready when the right opportunity comes along. For sellers, as I mentioned before, this isn't a test the market price and see what happens market anymore. Buyers have more information than ever, and they're comparing with everything they see online. Great pricing, strong marketing, and excellent presentation will always outperform wishful thinking. Whether you're buying or selling, understanding your local market is so important, and not just relying on the national headlines. And if you're wondering what that looks like for your neighborhood and your home, I'd be happy to help. So send me a text, DM, book a meeting in the Calendly link in the description below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Drop in the comments below. Where are you watching from?